whiskey weeb. Today it is the bourbon bathroom. None of that other nonsense. Getting into some pretty serious territory here today. We got the Heaven Hill Heritage Collection 22-year. Release fresh off the bottling line. It's a 22-year-old small batch Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 129.2 proof. It's just released 2026. We got a mash bill of standard Heaven Hill. 78 corn, 10% rye, 12% malted barley. Aging location, that's kind of cool. Rickhouse site, Heaven Hill, I'm assuming that's the Bardstown location. Aging location, Y, 5th and 6th floor. And then you have the production dates of when the barrels were filled. All in 2023, different dates. I think these guys are coming at like $350 MSRP. Secondary right now is probably sitting around like $800 would be my guess. You know it's serious business when we get the fancy glass out. And I'm not really one to really care much for glassware. I mean, if your nose can fit inside it, you can smell it fine. People argue like the tulip shape, it opens up at the top, all of that type of nonsense. And I mean, I'm sure it has some effect. Like, if you pour two things side by side in different glasses and actually taste them, then yes, it's gonna have a little bit more of an effect, especially on the nose. But otherwise, I don't think it's necessary, whether you're drinking out of a rocks glass, a Glencairn, a shoe, or the little divot on the lower back of an overweight stripper. And I miss Portia, dude. She was fantastic. Let's get into this. A little reluctant because I've already opened it. I've already tasted it. And I always get a weird note on most Heaven Hill products. It's like an orange note. And I get on almost all of their distillate. It's hard to really explain. I don't know why my brain immediately goes to oranges when I smell it. I mean, I love like the orange slices covered in sugar. I love those kind of candies, or orange Tic Tacs, or orange creamsicles, orange flavored lube, yeah, orange sherbet. I think it's all delicious. I always get orange on the nose of just about any Heaven Hill product. You gotta be serious here for a second, okay? It's an important bottle. This is 22 years old. It's going to be unnecessarily hyped by all of the masses because we are sheep, but I was so excited for this release. So excited. It's like angels singing fuck me music. That's everything you want. Everything you want from a bourbon. I don't recommend anyone go out and actually spend money on this thing, because even at like $350, I don't know if anything's really worth that price. But oh my god, that is oaky as hell. You know, I imagine probably like back in the day when they used to get the wooden teeth in, you know, like George Washington, that when they'd be like tongue kissing each other, at least in my mind, like Thomas Roosevelt and or Franklin Roosevelt. Who was the one with Theodore Roosevelt? Why are there so many Roosevelts in American history? There probably isn't any. I'm probably just making these names up as I go. But okay, imagine two people in like the 1700s, all with wooden teeth, just making out with each other. All right, that's what this tastes like. Oh my god, that sweet oak just comes through on the entire palate. Front of the palate, back of the palate, middle of the palate. Pitter-pat, pitter-pitter, pitter-pat, pat. Fuck this bottle. Fuck this whiskey. Fuck Heaven Hill for releasing this. This is like life-changingly good whiskey. It's everything you want from Heaven Hill. It's like the perfect Heaven Hill. Dude, if this bottle was on Chaturbate, I would donate like my entire savings to it. Probably can't say Chaturbate, can I, Sam? Man, okay, if this was a large-breasted VTuber that I was in a parasocial relationship with, I would donate my entire life savings to it. Okay? Oh, God, dude. Like, I don't even want to like make jokes. I don't even want to talk about this. It's like unimportant. Right? None of it matters. You know what else doesn't matter? Poodle mixes. People need to cut that stuff out. Right? Like Labradoodles and Spanapoodles and Jewadoodles and Golden Doodles. Like, it's a mutt. It is a mutt. Whoever decided that this was like a cool, trendy, hip thing to do is to take a poodle and another random breed of dog and crossbreed them, and then give it a cute name like a Labradoodle. was brilliant. Because all of a sudden you had all these breeders out there just making bank off, every probably like 21 to 35-year-old woman in the world who's going to her husband or her boyfriend or saving up the money she's making just so they can get out and buy one of these doodles. God, that was brilliant. I wish I would have thought of that. Man, this is good. And Heaven Hill, they're a cool company. They're like one of the few actually family-owned companies still in existence to this day. And I think it's been over 90 years, you gotta figure, right? 2025, they did their 90th anniversary release, which that thing is delicious. So this would be like their 91st year. And it's kind of cool to think about that the same family to this day still owns them. That family pretty much has Jim Beam Distillery to thank for that. When you really look at all the people behind the scenes at Heaven Hill who are their master distillers over the years, right? I think the first couple were Beam family people who went over to Heaven Hill and started distilling when Heaven Hill was not pre-Prohibition. I believe they started right after Prohibition with like a small investment at the time that the family made. Like they weren't distillers, they weren't in the alcohol business, they weren't whiskey people. They just had the opportunity to invest, and they did. And as the people they invested in were going under after a year or two, they were given the opportunity to buy them out, and they did. And because they didn't have any experience in distilling or anything like that, they ended up leaning on the Beam family, which I think is pretty cool. So thanks, Jim Beam. Appreciate ya. This might be like the true legacy of the Beam family, right? Because Jim Beam itself sold the Suntory, and I'm not sure if any of the actual Beam family is still involved with Jim Beam, but that'd be worth looking into. So pretty much the legacy to some extent is Heaven Hill. And I'm not a big Heaven Hill fanboy for the record. Like I like a lot of their releases, but I think their stuff really starts to shine at higher ages. Like you can miss me on most Parker's Heritage releases. You can miss me on like most of these Heritage collections here. But man, this one was special. Yeah, Heaven Hill, distilled and bottled by Heaven Hill, Bardstown, Kentucky. I've driven by this distillery too, like a dozen or so times, but I've never actually walked in. I should make it a point to do that. And next time I'm out that way, I'll have to go into Heaven Hill. I'm gonna do a review from the bathroom. I'm gonna go buy a bottle from the gift shop, take it into the bathroom, and shoot a video. Don't think I won't. I won't be allowed back in. But that's fine. Because just anything they release after this is downhill. Just downhill from here. Kind of like getting married. Alright, so if you guys want me to go to Heaven Hill and actually shoot a video from their bathroom, do the old YouTube thing, like, comment, and subscribe. And then we'll see where else I can do random videos from. And we got a busy week here, boys. And I don't have a lot of shame. I've done weirder things in public bathrooms. Believe me, like, God, I lost my virginity in a Taco Bell bathroom. Yep. It was a much older woman. A much, much older woman. Yeah. I mean, they weren't Alaskan King, but they sure felt huge, if you know what I'm saying. Ugh. That was a joke. I was implying I got crabs. I feel like I needed to explain that. But I probably shouldn't have explained that. Yeah, Heaven Hill 22-year Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. God, the finish on this is crazy. Get like some like bitter dark chocolate almost on the finish. But my God, everything it is. Burnt sugar, tree bark, and that sweet oak throughout the entirety of it. Like you worry about things like this, that they'll be like over oaked or astringent or bitter. And this is, don't get me wrong, this is bitter. It's very dry on the back, it's a little bitter, but it works. It works in conjunction with everything else. So take that for what it's worth. If you're not a big high-age bourbon guy, I'd probably avoid it. But if you like really, really oaky bottles, which I do. I love me some 20-plus year bourbon. The oakier the better, for the most part, within reason. Then this will impress you. And I haven't seen really too many people talk about this yet. I've got a couple videos out because they always send media samples. Heaven Hill always sends media samples. They're really cool about doing that, which to like the YouTube's people. Which I don't know, how do they get that? Is there like a sign-up sheet where they'll be like, oh, Heaven Hill, send me samples and I'll suck your dick? I imagine it's probably something similar. And that's one of the issues too with whiskeys like this. At some point, you can only drink so much of it in one sitting. Like I'd say after like an ounce and a half, it's just kind of like one. But this does a good job of being balanced and not too oaky.
So Heaven Hill, I'd like to take a moment. Say,
thank you for releasing something that's more readily available than that 19-year you released last year, which that thing was crazy good. But also not so available that it still makes me feel like I'm better than someone who didn't get it, okay? Because that's how the whole bourbon thing works. The rarer the bottles you have, the better of a person you are. At least that's what they told me on Reddit and Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. Because they said if you don't have the entire BTAC and Weller Rainbow lined up behind you on your shelves while shooting videos, then your opinion doesn't matter. You know what I have to say to that? I don't have any of those bottles. When I get those bottles, we drink them. And we drink them fast. They don't stick around long, but I do have this really cool anime girl statue back here. See, she's got fishnet tights. Yeah, you like that? Yeah, it feels good? Yeah, I bet you do. Yeah. Oh, you minxy little fox, you. No, we can't do that. No. Oh, really? I mean, well, we could. Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. Yeah, once we're done, yeah. Yeah, we'll go do that. Yeah. Shit, I was supposed to rate this thing. Sorry, guys, I got distracted. If I were to rate this on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it like a 1.3. If I were to rate that back there, I'd give that like a 10. Oh, yeah, like that. Yeah, stop distracting me. I'm trying to shoot a video here. Yeah, no, don't worry about them. They like to watch. Yeah, I bet you guys do, you fucking weirdos. God, why can't you guys just be normal for like 5 minutes? All right, have a good day.